I'm aware there's a lot of commentary around the threat to the fans being the reason for the decision. To be clear, that was not the primary driver. That was a consideration. We have intelligence and information that says that there is a section of Maccabi fans, not all Maccabi fans, but a section of them who engage in quite significant levels of hooliganism. What is probably quite unique in these circumstances is whereas often hooligans will clash with other hooligans and it will be contained within the football fan base. We've had examples where a section of Maccabi fans were targeting people not involved in football matches, and certainly we had an incident in Amsterdam last year which has informed some of our decision making.
Do you feel you are owed an apology from the British government for them pushing back on that decision?
I'm big enough and bold enough not to receive apologies. The apology should be from the Prime Minister to the Chief Constable of West Midlands. The apology should be from the Prime Minister to the Safety Advised Group Board of Members, which made that decision to ban the hooligans because of the intelligence they had from the match in Amsterdam, where they now know that more than 500 to 600 fans were organised, and there was a Muslim hunt the night before the match where they attacked Muslims specifically in an organised way. They even attacked officers, police officers, damaged property, and they attacked private hire drivers. So the truth is coming out bit by bit. Lisa Nandy misled the British public by saying it was about protecting the fans. It's never been that. It was always about protecting the local communities. So yes, Keir Starmer owes a massive apology, but I'm too big, as I say, to receive an apology from him. My shoulders are broad, but he needs to apologise to the Chief Constable, the Safety Advisory Group members, and to the British public. They've been misled, and that shouldn't have happened.
We're here at Villa Park Stadium for the Aston Villa Tel Aviv Maccabi match, which has been deemed very controversial to many, many people across the UK. There is a police presence here of approximately 600 to 700 police with vans and dogs and many, many cameras. There's also a Section 60 and a Section 60AA in place, which means that many protesters behind me will not be able to cover their faces. It's actually, people have been approached because of this. Now, this has been a really controversial one. Keir Starmer pushed back on the decision for the fans of Maccabi Tel Aviv to come here. He pushed back, but the decision held.
EPIA, EPIO, hold tenders in the sky. That's the chant that the Villa fans use. There has been a dereliction of duty by the political staff, by the political class across the world, in the UK and across the international globe. And because there has been a political dereliction of duty, it has been left to the citizens of the world to take up the mantle and the responsibility of holding the genocidal apartheid state to account. So when it came to the complicity of this British government to allow weapons to go to Israel, they failed their international jurisdiction or their international obligations, and it was left to citizens to take direct action, like the one against Elbit Systems, to stop the genocidal weaponry to go to Israel, just like the political establishment failed in their duty to open a humanitarian corridor to allow food and essential items to go into Gaza. Because they failed, it was left to the citizens of the world to try to open that corridor, and they made the flotillas that we saw with the bravery of people from all over the world, including Uncle Sajjad, who's just behind me, who was in the flotilla that was apprehended by Israel.
I'm here with two organisers from the activist independent movement. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a fantastic turnout today as well. And everybody, as you can see, came, the grassroots organisation, national organisation came together in solidarity for Palestine. They put their differences behind and as united as one for Palestine. That's very important. But the nationals also know that you can't ignore grassroots organisations like Activist Independent Movement and other organisations, that we can work together. It's important work to locally knowing what the areas consist of. So we think the nationals need to do more events in grassroots organisations like Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool. So we need more demos outside of London as well.
UEFA have known for many years now, for the last 2 years, that Israel is a Zionist entity, that Israel is a genocidal entity, and they should be out of football and they should be out of all international games. The problem with FIFA is Gianni Infantino is best friends with Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. Once you know that, you understand that boycotting FIFA is her hardest thing to do, but we can get UEFA to boycott Israel. And many, believe it or not, many of the UEFA heads around Europe really want that. They don't want Israel playing in their cities. And so we need to just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing until they finally bow down to us. So please remember the name, Alexander Shefrin, and email him. Make sure he knows that the Zionist entity of Israel is not allowed in Birmingham.
How does that sit with you that the British government have actually wanted the fans to be here despite the violence, despite the controversies?
I am disappointed that they actually don't listen to the facts. They don't listen to the recommendation which came from the Dutch police. They told them not to. The Israelis themselves banned them from playing in Israel. Still, our government, for some reasons, and the reason is complicity, they agree for them to come and play here in Birmingham. I don't want to see a mayhem in Birmingham Street. That's why I'm here tonight, because I want my beautiful, peaceful city to continue being like that. I don't want the same sceneries in Tel Aviv and Amsterdam to be repeated here. That's why I'm very grateful for all of you for being here.
And there's a big show of solidarity here today. A lot of people from Birmingham, a lot of people from all over the UK. How does that feel when you see that solidarity?
Absolutely brilliant. I feel as a Palestinian, I'm not alone. I feel my cause is global, and I always believe that the Palestinian cause is not only Palestinian, it's a cause for all the free people around the world. And thank you, Birmingham, for braving me right.
Obviously, Maccabi Tel Aviv, there's a bit of controversy going on at the moment about whether they should be here or not. What are your thoughts?
I think I just want to come here and see Villa win. And that's that, you know, hopefully politics does get into football, but it shouldn't. It's all about the game at the end of the day and being safe. And if it's not safe, then we have to take the safety measures that we need to.
What are your thoughts as a football fan to be playing an Israeli team?
My thoughts are just about football, about winning a football game. Politics don't come into it as far as I'm concerned. So it's just about winning a football game for me. And hopefully we beat the Israeli team.
We know that some of those players on the pitch tonight have been in the IOF. You know, they've been in the Israeli army. They've probably murdered Palestinians. On any stage, in any sphere, they shouldn't be given a platform. Like, it's all right to boot Russia out of football, but why not the same for Israel? It's ridiculous. It's double standards, it's ridiculous, and it's because our government are complicit. So, yeah.
And what do you think about Keir Starmer pushing back on the decision from Aston Villa, the football club, to make sure the fans don't come here?
The whole thing is just ridiculous. You know, his absolute obsession with trying to get these racist, genocide-supporting football hooligans. We saw what they did in Amsterdam. We saw what they did on the streets of Amsterdam, and it was disgusting and disgraceful. And the fact that he was so hell-bent on trying to get them here onto the streets of Birmingham, our city with our, communities and, football fans, other football fans for Aston Villa, I think it's just disgusting. What's he on? It's just mental, yeah.
This is just not about anti-Semitism. This is actually dealing with thugs, hooligans, and like Lauren said, IOF, people who have served in the IOF, who have been active participants in the genocide in Palestine, in Gaza.
That's an idea! That's an idea! That's an idea! That's an idea!
There was a little bit of ruckus earlier. Can you tell us more about what happened?
Yeah, basically what happened was some of the Villa fans came by and they didn't make very nice chants. They made anti-Palestine chants, and some of the crowd did throw piss bottles over into the pro-Palestine protesters that were there. Unfortunately, some of those Villa fans spoke for the rest of the Villa fans who actually didn't say nothing and let us carry on chanting. They understand that we're here for Palestine. You know, we don't support baby killers. But some of those that were in the crowd there actually do support genocide, and that was where some of the crowd weren't happy, the local people, and they stood on solidarity with Palestine and let them know about it as well.
And so, with Israel being an apartheid state and such controversy about them actually being here today, even as a team, what are your thoughts around getting them out of football altogether? Because the same happened with Nazi Germany back in the day. They were kicked out of the Olympics and things like that, boycotted, and South Africa. How can we make sure that we show them the red card?
Well, Actors Independent Movement supported the Game Over Israel block today. As you know, there's a Game Over Israel campaign running at the moment. Apparently there is a precedent where cities like Birmingham and other cities across where Europe can turn around, and the world, just like how Amsterdam banned them coming from their city. I think the next step forward for Birmingham is to ban them officially from football, playing any kind of sports in Birmingham. And we're going to be pushing Ayoub Khan, who actually did stop this game, you know, the Maccabi fans for coming here. We thank you for that, for the motion that he put together. At the same time, we also thank SAG, and we also thank the West Midlands Police Constable as well for allowing this to happen as well. So it's very, very important that everybody supports the Game Over Israel campaign, and more importantly, every city across the world needs to say no to Israel being in football or any other kind of sport, and no to, you know, the baby killers. And that's why we stand up for Zionism equals racism. It's a disgrace. Keir Starmer wanted to find the money here to police the game, allowing them to come here, knowing what they've caused in Amsterdam. But they can't pay for the bin workers. Yeah, which I don't know if you know, bin workers on strike here. They want to cut their pay cut of £8,000, where our city has basically become filthy, rats everywhere, but they're willing to spend millions of pounds so Maccabi Tel Aviv fans can come here, which is a disgrace.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Free Palestine! And the genocide!
Can we have a few words for the Crispin Flintoff show? Crispin Flintoff.
Oh, I like Crispin.
Yes,
Can
nice
we walk and talk?
Yes, let's walk and talk. So, what are your thoughts on what's going on today here with the
beautiful protest? Very peaceful. There's been no problems whatsoever. Like we said, Birmingham united, all religions united against Zionism. We want to kick Israel out of football, and that will happen, inshallah. Sheikh's up. Sheikh's up. Sorry, I'm just talking here.
And do you think that will happen? Do you think they will be kicked out of FIFA?
That should happen, yeah.
And what do you think it's going to take?
It's going to take a lot of people to get together and raise that awareness. Slowly, the public perspective now is leaning towards Palestine. People are realizing not to trust the mainstream media. They know the mainstream media is total nonsense. So now people are using and utilizing social media. Kids are all educated now. They can just pick up the phone and they know what's happening all around the world, so they know what to follow now. So slowly but surely, you know, people are coming onto the right side of history.
I'd like to use your platform to completely call out the disgraceful Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary. The fact that he interfered with our lovely West Midlands Police's policy and banning them, the fact that he interfered shows that he is a Zionist lobby. I don't want to use the word because there's a lady here, but they are using and putting our communities under the bus. For far too long, these people claim they represent us, but when we ask them to speak for the plight of our people, they want to turn away and say it's a controversial issue. So my stance and my message to every single one of the youth who are here and present today, every single one of us are leaders in our own right. You all are leaders. You have mobile phones in your hand. You all are leaders. Whether it's pick up the phone, whether it's talking to people, communicate. But the most disgraceful thing is this. West Midlands Police decided that this event should not go ahead because of the issues that happened in Amsterdam, where these fans who would have come here were chanting death to the Arabs and ole ole, there's no children in Palestine because there's no schools in Palestine. Keir Starmer and Shabana Mahmood should be ashamed of themselves. themselves, and I know for a fact at the next general election, at the next mayor election, we took a stance to stand, and it was a principled stance. We did not join these political parties. We did not become a bunch of yes men who know nothing but saying yes sir, 3 bags full, sir.
I feel there was a sentiment of an attempt to contain the protest due to fears of the youngsters carrying acts that may have been illegal. But I do not believe that would have happened. As you see, there's hundreds of youngsters here and no illegal act was carried out. In fact, the youngsters of Birmingham were very peaceful, and it has beaten the stereotype that this is a city that is a no-go zone area. That is the stereotype that is pushed out by Fox News. They said that we have the caliphate established here in Birmingham and people cannot enter Birmingham, or Jews cannot enter Birmingham. All of that has been proven false through this peaceful protest.
It was a very, very clear message today that we gave to Maccabi Tel Aviv that they are not welcome in Birmingham. We protested, we raised the flag of Palestine, we brought this to the attention of the fans that are going inside the ground. But Aston Villa fans are not our enemy. We are today supporters of Aston Villa. They don't make the decisions. The decisions are made by UEFA.
You can see there's a lot of young people around here today, a lot of solidarity with young people. There's even some fans of yours, I think, over there. What would you say to young people across the UK in how we can overturn these things in the future, how they can come together and be part of this?
Yes, so we need to be united on the one-state solution for Palestine, military intervention in Palestine. We need to call for the right of return for the Palestinians. So those who were evicted from Palestine in 1948, illegally according to international law, they have the right to return, and we must call for their right to return, as well as the return of the Palestinians who are not in the West Bank, who are not in Gaza. Those Palestinians that are in Jordan, Syria and other countries, they all have the right to return. That will change the demography of what we see occurring, the illegal settlements in the West Bank. Changing that demography is the first step to freeing Palestine. And of course, I also call for a 1 million man march into Palestine. A 1 million man march, I have been calling for that for a number of years, but now is the time for us to coordinate a 1 million man march into Palestine and free Palestine with a 1 million man march.
So there you have it. The Aston Villa and Maccabi Tel Aviv game went ahead despite controversies. We had national movements as well as local movements here in Birmingham organising this protest today, this peaceful protest, which has been a renowned success. There was an initial little bit of confusion, I think, in the beginning as to who was going to do what in regards to it. But what happened was people came together. They clubbed together, protested peacefully, took a stand for Palestine. And as you can see behind me, there are many, many protesters here today in support of Palestine, in support of the fact that people feel that FIFA should not be allowing a genocidal state in football. We've had Nazi Germany many decades ago kicked out of the Olympics, boycotted, the same with South Africa. That should be the same with an apartheid state like Israel. I'm Danielle, my handle is @Celtic Phoenix Rising for the Crispin Flintoff Show.